Hello, everybody. How are you? Welcome to another week here at My Artful Adventures. So, today we're going to continue working on the junk journal that I started, and I'm on Team Junk over in the 6 month project that is Friendship Journals on a Journey, and we're on the junk team. So there's 4 different teams. We have junk journals and vintage journals. We have a team that are our new journal makers, and then we have boho. So we've got 4 different teams, and each team goes live once a month for 6 months. There's 6 people on a team, and so each time, like the first month, what we did, and so this month we are making the covers to our journals. No, excuse me. Oh, I think I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, it's passed. Oh my goodness. Isn't that always annoying when you feel like you're gonna sneeze? You just know, you can feel it coming on, right? Oh my goodness, that's crazy. So what we're doing then is we send our journal. So this month we're making journals, and what we're going to do is we're going to take those journals and we are sending them on to the next member in our team. And by sending them to the next member of the team, then each of those people takes oh my goodness, they take our journal and they make one signature for us, and then they put that in our journal. They sew it in for us, and so then they send it to the next person, and each time we send it to the same person. And so I'll always be sending mine to the same person, and I'm not ready to send it, and I don't remember who I sent it to. I know, I'm terrible. So not really, I'm not, but that's how that goes, right? So yeah, so I have to finish my journal before I can send it. And so I thought I would come on and do a little bit of it here today. Hey, Sue, how are you? Sue and Becky are here with me. Thanks, you guys. I'm glad you popped on with me. Always appreciate some company when I go live. And I actually think, I'm not so sure that I didn't see Mama P was live. And but I'd already planned this. I already said I was going to be live. So there's that. You got to stick with it, right? Stick with the plan. So I'm not going to get completely done today with what I'm doing. We're just going to play a little bit with it and continue it, right? So then we'll move on and get it on its way. But if you didn't see what I had done on mine, I'll give you a little look at it. So because I got put on Team Junk, I'm trying to embrace junk. And, for those of you who watch me, you know that junk really isn't my thing. I usually do things that are more clean, more new looking. I don't really do a lot with found stuff. And so I'm really taking this as a challenge. And that's what I want to do is to use found things for most of the journal. And so let me put you down here to the desk. Okay, so I used paper grocery bags. I have a really fun size. Well, I thought I had an extra one over there. I was going to show you. They're just a small size. They come from a place that is kind of a little place to eat and ice cream place here in Texas, Brahms, and I think they've got them some other places too. But I just put them all together. Like they are folded in half and then glued back to back. And so you see we still have, a flap in here. So each of my people will have a whole section like this to put it in. Now, when I glued them back to back, I did not glue them all the way to the edge, because what that does is it will let that spine kind of give a little bit depending on how thick, the signature is. So that's going to give it a little bit of room. And so I'm excited to, get it back and see what it's like. So today I thought we would just work a little bit more on the front of the cover. And I tell you what, I'm starting to feel kind of panicky. And I just had some muslin that I'm using for this. I still have to do the back. I did get another piece of my tie. Oh, where is it? This is, oh, I guess I didn't. I had to rip it again. The piece I had obviously had been cut on one end, and it was so uneven from one end to the other. And I'm looking at that and I'm like, why, if you ripped it on the grain, why would it do that? And then I realized because it was, it had been cut on one side. So I'm just going to go ahead and let's just glue this on while we're sitting here. And now this will be in between the other cover when I make my next faux leather thing. And you guys, you'll have to go back and look at that because I used a really easy method to make the faux leather. And if you've never done that, it is probably the easiest way that you're going to find to do it. So I'm just going to pat that on there, and then we'll get that drying on there. So, oh my goodness. So how many of you like to do true junk journaling with all the junky junk? I'm going to move it out a little bit here so we can get some more space here. Okay. How many of you like to do true junky junk journaling? Okay, now I am going to, you guys, this is so funny. I was thinking about this earlier today. I was thinking, you know what? I think I'm going to put this on the edge. I had this left over from something, and then I got to laughing, thinking to myself, you know, as much stuff as I have that has never been used, at this point, couldn't I figure that it's junk to me? What do you think? Oh, hey, there's the Sue crew. I love it. I love it. Now, I don't know. I don't want to, I think I'll kind of put it in a little way from the edge. I think that'll look good. I'm almost afraid to, I might get some clips out here because I don't know. It doesn't grab and stick just immediately, and so I'm kind of a little bit leery of how that's gonna grab and stick if I'm putting it around the edge, you guys. Is this all the clips I can find today? Well, that's not good. Well, we'll go with it, right? Some's better than none. So I'm just gonna glue this around the edge. And I think I'll do a little bit, just a tiny bit away from the edge. And I don't know, you guys have any ideas? Should I start in the corner or at the kind of the middle bottom? I don't know. So many choices. So I'm just gonna go along here. Oops. Let's just do it. Let's just put it on here like this. Now, or should I put it more to the edge? What do you guys think? Well, now I've got it there, and now if I move it, it's gonna have glue stuck all in a goofy look. And that has come undone over there. Oh, it really is gonna look like junk, isn't it, you guys? I'm knocking my clips down. I'm not sure I'm gonna be happy with this. I did grab it up to make sure that it would go all the way around. So I did plan that far in advance. I don't think Fabri-Tac smells that bad. That sounds more like the 3-in-1. The 3-in-1 is very smelly. I know that. You know, I'm just gonna, you know, maybe I'll not try to get this part here super glued down tight, and then I can kind of work it together at the edge. How's that sound? Okay. All right. Well, that didn't take too long. Phew. You guys, okay, I have something to talk to you about. This is serious business, okay? Business talk. Junk journal business talk, all right? So, I had a friend who the other day sent me, let me zoom my face out a little bit. Hang on just one second. It's so up close and personal. So I had a friend who sent me a video the other day about junk journaling, and she told me that she finally kind of got what drunk journaling was supposed to be, right? Oh, Sue, that'll be fun. You typically don't use junk in your journals either. Yep, I agree. And you know what? That brown paper that they use, I first was going to use this. I'll tell you this before I go into my spiel. So this is some of that, and like how they twist it all up and then they stuff it in a box. Is that what you're thinking about? Because I really thought this was what I was going to use for the cover. And then when I got it out and was going to do my method, I'm like, I don't think that's going to last very well. I don't think it's going to be sturdy enough. So I went back to the grocery bag thing. But okay, so my friend sends me this video, and it's somebody talking about how, you know, she's finally figured out about junk journaling, and she has basically got a bunch of ephemera from some kind of a trip or vacation or something, and she's going to use this for her junk journal, and she lays it out all on pages. And by the time she's done with these, it's a bunch of receipts and things like that. And by the time she's done laying these out neatly, it looks like it could have been, you know, a piece of scrapbook paper that was meant to look like a collage of, you know, things like that. And then, you know, she wanted to kind of use it as a scrapbook, a memory keeping thing. And she really felt like, you know, like once she had seen this video, that she finally got more about what the purpose of a junk journal was. And when I read that and I watched the video, I just had this light bulb moment. And I thought, you know what? I think this is exactly why so many people struggle with what junk journaling is, why in the world would you do it, and what are you going to do with it? And I think that, you know, the whole deal boils down to, are you a person who needs to have a project that has purpose? Do you need it to do something when you're done? I mean, is it going to serve either a specific decorative purpose, or, you know, for a junk journal, why would you spend all this much time if you don't really have a real purpose for it? And I thought, you know what? There's two different ways that people think about junk journaling. We all know that we have seen a lot of people who they just decorate. They decorate and they use all kinds of stuff, and it's mostly a fun and decorative experience. And it's almost kind of like when the first time I ever heard anything about a glue book. And I'm like, what the heck is a glue book? So I, you know, Google up some videos on that, and I'm like, okay, they're just taking stuff they like and arranging it and gluing it down. They've cut up things from magazines and pictures and all kinds of stuff. Hi, Teresa, welcome. And so they've got all this stuff, and they're just going to put it on a page in a way that is pleasing to them. I saw one guy do a glue book, and each page was basically a color theme. And it was really cool because, you know, he'd spent all this time amassing all of these like magazine photos and stuff. And then, you know, he put them on these pages. And, you know, when he would find other pieces, he might, you know, a different color, he would take it and he'd get it into his glue book. And I thought, well, that is kind of cool, you know, then you get all of this fun stuff. I don't know how this is going to look. That glue is like seeping all out there. I'm not keeping my cording right here. And so, you know, so I thought, yeah, that's kind of fun though. And then I thought, you know, this is similar to a lot of people who have trouble really wrapping their mind about art journaling. And I just always say, art journaling is just a practice book, okay? It's something you practice in. And so for some people, I think that we've got two avenues. You know, you've got your junk journal, and people take these two paths. Basically, they're either doing it because they just want to decorate and have fun, or they're doing it because they need a purpose. And the people who need the purpose, until they figure out how they can use a journal like this for the purpose, they really struggle with it. But I think once they figure out how they can use this concept and give it purpose, you know, then all of a sudden they're off and running. So I want to know, which camp are you from? And maybe you're in the middle. Maybe you like to have fun and a little bit of purpose. So I want to know, do you like to just have fun with it and mostly decorate? Or do you need purpose? Or is it both, fun and purpose? I want to know. So now's the time to share what you think about that. So let's hear it. Let's hear it. I want to know. But yeah, so the lady who's, who she sent the video, yeah, she was going to use it basically as kind of a different type of memory keeping, or, scrapbook, if you will. And I thought, oh, this just tells me so much why people can really struggle with this idea. And to me, it's just like, I'm probably in the middle. Although I would say I probably have more fun just making them than ever using them. So for me, it's like, who cared if they had a purpose? I just had fun building it. I think I'm just a craft builder. So what do you guys think? Which version of journaling do you fit in? I want to know. Okay, now if I wrap this around here, let's see what we can do. Let's snip this and see if we can't kind of get them to meld together. Sue says she's a purpose person. What about the rest of you? I guess this is why, I'm just a fly by the seat of my pants person. So to me, it's like, if it ends up with a purpose, fine. If not, I had fun. Let's see, this is going to get messy down here in this corner, I can tell. But let's see if we can't make it kind of come together and not look too messy. Maybe we can kind of get it to join together. Let it join forces with the rest of itself. Book is taking on a beach theme. Well, this is travel. This is travel. Maybe part of their deal was on a ship, right? All kinds of a journey. I wonder if I could take one of these at this point and put it over here. And I hope it doesn't like just the glue stick to that and then I can't do anything else. Okay, now I've got an envelope that I want to cut. I like these that have these great big windows. Susan says that's definitely her purpose all the way. She wants to overcome that creativity block. I'm not so sure it's really a creativity block. I just think that, and there could be way more people that feel like that than I really ever thought about. So, Sue Blaylock said she's like that way too. Look, Teresa says she is too. Oh my gosh, you guys. I must drive you guys crazy with my, just do it to do it. Maybe that's why, you know what, you guys, I bet that is why when some of you take, I like to give you ideas. And I think that's one reason that so often I just give you an idea. I give you like a build of something, and then I want you to take it and I want you to do you and decorate it and have all the fun, right? And so when you come back and you show me what you've done with the idea, it just thrills my soul. And I'm serious. I just think that is so cool. And I love seeing what everybody did with it. And it's just like, it's not that I couldn't come up with something, but it just wasn't important to me. I didn't really care. I just wanted to build the thing. And it's like, and I'm starting more all the time to think, that's the way a lot of people might be. Now, I don't want this big. We're going to cut a whole bunch more off of here. And I don't really know that it needs to be that straight. So let's just cut a bunch off. I want it to just basically be a window. Although I was thinking it would be fun to have that writing stuff on there, but that's going to take up too much of our book. So we're just going to cut that off. And I'm just going to cut it here too. Okay. So now we're going to do that. And I want to, well, I tell you what, that's going to take a whole lot less inking than I was thinking I was going to need. Because I don't want to put it on there like that. And I want to put this behind it. And this is some of that Amazon paper. So I'm going to see about tearing this to put a little piece on the back. Who knows? We'll see how it goes, right? That's my purpose, to show you ideas. You know, I'm glad you said that, because that's kind of how I feel about it. To show you the ideas and let you run with it. And I know a lot of people don't, but you know, here's the thing. I don't have the stuff you have, and you don't have the stuff I have. And so if all I'm going to do is show you all the decorative ideas with stuff I have, you know, that's kind of, that's not that great for you. Because then you can't really make that happen with what you've got, right? Let's see. I'm going to have to probably tear it this way. You know what? This is a perfect time to use those grid lines on my map. Let's make it kind of straight along one up here. And then I'm going to have to move this over. And you know what? If it's not super straight, I don't even care. So this is just going to be like, I kind of wish it was all kind of torn, like jaggedy like this. But even if I can get a little bit, I'll be happy with that. Oh my goodness. And then if it's not going to tear in there like that, that's going to be bad. Because then it won't show outside of the envelope edge. And, you know, this is kind of what I was afraid of. Oh man. Okay, let's see. Maybe we'll just have to allow for that part. Oh, that's not bad. I can live with that. I can live with that. And I don't want a whole bunch anyway. Okay. Let me just... Okay, let's try it. I got a bigger piece. Well, yeah, it's going to be a lot more jaggedy on that one edge. But that's all right. Phew. Phew, we got that part done. Your goal is to learn how... Tell Malay again. I have no idea what that word was supposed to be, my dear. Try again. I tell you, sometimes you must be on your phone. Where's my envelope? There it is. Actually, I kind of like it all jaggedy like that. On at least one side is going to be fun and jaggedy, right? And maybe about this much. And it doesn't have to be exact all the way around. Okay. And it's, you know, it's got a little roughness, not too much. Let me see about getting a darker ink. And let's just ink that edge up a little bit. Hey, Nicole, how are you? Thanks for popping on with us. We're just working on our true junk journal. We're just making the junk. So we've got our, this backing paper is going to be, you know what? I don't want to do that. I might want to use that for something. I like how it's got the little words. Oh, here, let's use this piece. I don't remember what I was going to say. Oh, this is like just some of that brown paper that they crinkle up in your, you know, shipping sometimes when they ship something to you. And that's what this paper is. And then I've got part of an envelope with kind of one of the bigger windows, and that's what we're going to use. You guys, when I was looking for an envelope with a bigger window, I pull out some papers, and I thought, oh, okay, this will be good. And then here's another thing, and our property tax has to be paid by the end of this month, or you have to, pay extra. Then they charge you more if you don't pay it until February or March. It just keeps going up. And I looked at the cost, and I'm like, that is not how much I thought it was going to be. I think it's about $1,000 less. And I had heard people talking about getting, when they got their final statement for taxes this year, how it was less than how it was less than they thought that it was going to be. And I thought, that would be cool. And I looked at mine. I thought, no, ours is still the same. Well, evidently it wasn't. Just like, that was a nice surprise for the day, right? Oh my gosh, you guys. When we bought our house, the people who had lived here had always lived here from the time it was built. The same family. It had been in their family. And so when you look to see what property taxes were going to be, by the next year, when they saw what the house had sold for, because the house had been built in 1956. And, a lot of what they based it on was, I guess, well, I don't know what they based it on. But anyway, when they found out what the house had sold for, then that was what we started getting charged for. And, it was like, well, that wasn't exactly what we thought it was going to be, now was it? Well, we got a lot of brown going on here. But you know what? I think it's going to be kind of cool. It's all junk. It's all junk. So it says, when she was doing Lives with Craft inspiration videos, she had no problem creating for fun. But then she ended up with too many finished projects taking space around her house. Yes, that can be very true. I understand that. Now, you guys, here, I've got some color. I've got an old atlas that I got like at an estate sale or something, and we're gonna put some map in here. We're just gonna take a piece from somewhere. Let's get something that's got some color. Ooh, I've always wanted to go to Italy. Ooh, now here, look, if we move it over here, we can get some good color over here. Let's do that. I think I probably should chop some of this off with the paper trimmer. I don't know what their problem is. Well, you guys, somebody came to the door the other day. They rang the doorbell and the dogs go crazy. And I wasn't expecting anybody at all. I didn't know who it was, but the dogs are pitching a fit. And I thought, oh, I'll open the door. And so I'm like holding the dog back. Hey, Cheryl. Hi, Ann. And so, they are just still not happy. And I just laughed, and I just told the person, I go, what can I do for you? And they've stepped off of my porch steps, and he's like talking. I cannot hear the person for love nor money. And I just laughed. I go, I can't hear you. I said, and so then he shows me he's got something like for somebody who is running for, office. So he's out canvassing, and I just go, just leave it up here at the door. It's just like, not bad to have your daughter's big dogs out there making a racket sometimes, right? Okay. Oh, look how pretty this is going to be on the front. Oh, look, then I even get my tiny bit of, I'm going to leave it here because then I still could maybe even put something down here. It looks like we need to cut it off about Parma. Parma. Okay. I think that's where Parmesan cheese comes from. Ooh, I don't know. No idea. Okay. Let's do it. Where's the little glue? Okay, I'm starting to be kind of happy with this. It's not going to be done, but you know, at least we've made some headway, right? Hey, Rhoda. Rhoda May and Ray Inspired. That's Joe. Hey, Daryl, how are you? Okay. Get a little bit of glue on here. Stick it on our little window frame. It's coming together, you guys. It's coming together. So you'll just have to come back on, you know, the Sunday afternoons. Each group starts at, what do we run from, is it 4 to 10? I think so, 4 to 10 Eastern, or, oh my gosh, 4 to 10 Central on Sunday afternoons. So each week's a different group. So you guys, next month when we start seeing everybody, we'll get to see how their journals turned out. And then we'll watch the person, you know, work on the first signature. Okay, so now let's put a little bit along here. All right. So I've got some other ideas to add to the front before I pass it on. And like I said, I still have to quickly do the other piece of the back. You know, you have, when you're making that faux leather stuff, it kind of, any of you that watch the other day, you could see how much space that took up with that piece of grocery bag. Okay, and now we'll put it here. Should I center it or put it up? You know, I'm going to put it up a little ways because I could still put something down here. Something, listen to me. Now I'm gonna, hey, Celeste, how are you? You guys, you'll have to go back. Okay, well, no. Now that some of you are on here now, I'm just going to recap. I said I have finally come to the realization why a lot of people struggle with junk journals, and the whole concept is because they don't know a purpose for them. And so we were talking about how some people just do them for fun and to decorate them, and you know, some people need a purpose for them after they're done. So which camp do you fall in? Do you do yours just for fun, or do you need to have a purpose for it? We're still taking votes. Yes, that's what I'm thinking, Mama P. Thinking something like that. So, you guys, I did not put anything hard under this first one. Somebody suggested that I, you know, wrap the faux leather around a piece of chipboard and then put it on there so it was a hard cover. And I didn't want to. I don't care if it's just kind of a soft cover. I think that kind of adds to its natural charm. It's not a bad idea. I mean, you could do that. Did I get that on kind of straight? Sort of not really. And that's too late. Okay, you guys. There we have our beginnings of our cover. Phew. Cheryl says she makes them for creative fun, for live, and then she actually get a use for them, when you actually get a use for them. Love your daily journals. Yeah. Record something each day. Yeah. So obviously when you make one that you're going to use, you make sure that you've got places to, you know, be able to do that, journal in it, or, you know, and I mean, that could even have places that you can stick a tag that you've journaled on. I mean, there's so many ways that you can do something like that, right? And still be able to add journaling and stuff into the, you know, to junk journals. So, okay, you guys, there we go. That's about it for the day. That's all of the real junk I can deal with for now. Hi, Diane. Just for fun. You try to display and sell at your local craft fairs once a year, the small ones. Yeah, that's a great thing. Yeah, I know you do. You just really get into some um, crafting modes, don't you? Before your craft fairs. You know what? I'm gonna at least. I don't need these this long, but I do know. Wait a second. Did I not glue on the right piece? Now this one I can tell is torn on both sides. This one's kind of, I don't care. Why am I being so picky about it? It's gonna, oh, this one was the first one anyway. There's nothing I can do about that. That's sandwiched in there. But I'm just gonna cut this piece off, and then there's no reason to have like 60 inches of muslin here, right? Pam says she's on team both fun and purpose. She thinks for some people the act of creating releases endorphins. Yeah. Yep, I'm a project builder. I just like doing it. It's just something to do. And usually I'm having to think about it, because I'm usually measuring stuff and making sure it fits and doing all the stuff. But, there's no right or wrong way, right, you guys? Just no right or wrong. Okay, you guys, I think I'm going to call that done for right this minute. And, yeah, so we'll see how this goes. I might do a quick run through before I send it on, though. That might be fun. And then I'll have a little record of that. Oh my goodness, look at this. Oh, phew. Sitting there without its lid. That is not good. All right, you guys, thanks for popping on with me. So appreciate you. Have a great day. Have a great week, and I will talk to you later. Okay, bye-bye.